Hi everyone. Now we're at the beginning of the year, or beginning just before we get ready for the season starting. I've been working on, I'm actually into my second box, but I actually made up a box. I'll open it so you can see. First box that I've put together is the heavy sort of beaded nymphs, if you can see there. These are more suited for sort of the kind of Euro nymph type style of fishing, which is it's handy to have when things are quiet or searching certain water that basically near infishable when it comes to maybe fishing dries. You can fish the fast, sort of deep water. That there's some areas of the fish that these work extremely well. Also, especially in the smaller sizes, I like to fish the beaded flies off, like a dry dropper type fly, or just piggyback as we used to call it. It's as simple as that. You piggyback it off the bend of a dry fly and do a bit of searching, as well as obviously fishing dries. But in the Euro nymph style, you can fish, if you're going to fish like the French leader type style, you can actually, instead of fishing two nymphs, you can have a nymph and a dry in that style. You can get away with it. But this is just a nice selection. I rarely fill a box for myself, but I did this one because I want to do a wee bit more fish in certain waters that I normally would pass, unless I want to fish this style. The other box I'm starting to work on is my kind of still water type box, small fishery. This box here, this one is, I'm going to just put in sort of nymph patterns, emergers, so kind of dry, if you could dry emerger type flies. What I'm going to actually talk about, or what I'm going to tie, is the kind of there's three versions of CDC flies I've got here that I fished. I mean, these go way back, these patterns, to the 80s. First wrote about these in the magazine, the Bubble, the Caddis, was another one. And then in I think it was the mid-90s, I did a selection for the Trout and Salmon Flies of Scotland, which was a book. And I was actually looking at it the other day there and seen the patterns I was tying. The bubbles there, these ones here, in this version as well. So, I mean, these are shuttlecocks, but there's a couple of ways to tie them now. I mean, the bubble, everybody's seen it. One of my first sort of flies I tied, I'll show you, in the style was just the sort of midget. I have one on there, it's an old video, so I'll do an up-to-date version of that. I'll zoom in a wee bit so you can actually see. So I'm actually just using this is the short shank special for full and mill. I'll show you this type of, this one, that's the black nickel one. That's basically, it suits this fly better actually. The black hook suits the black fly obviously, but you can use it in any colour, it still works. It's just the bronze version, so this is the black version. So this one here. So that's the short shank special net. It's a great wee hook. It's a size, it's a size 10. It's the gape, it's equivalent to a size 10. The shank's equivalent to a size 12. But it allows you to, if you want to have a curved hook, if you want, it allows you to get the body around the bend. So it's a good in-between. It's not a curved hook, it's not a straight hook. And it's a very versatile hook. And it's a medium wire hook, which is good, but good for dries and good for sort of wets even as well. Now, I'm just going to tie the black version just to quickly show you. UTC, well, this is the best thread. I'm using the wrong thread, this is a uni. I picked up the wrong one. UTC, sorry, is this one. This is the 70, which is the finer. So it's a flat thread, a wee bit stretch in it. Covers really quick. It's good for like midge. It's good for if you're putting a quill body or so. So we just quickly run down and just come around the bend a wee bit. Now I've got some stripped peacock quill here, not much left in this one. So it's just a peacock eye that I've used bleach to remove the fine fibre. You can tie it in close to the tip, or you can. The best of the quill is actually down here. So if you want to tie it in, you can tie it in right at the very bottom. The only thing is there's wee curly bits here, but the flat thread will catch them. So we can basically run up thorax length away from the eye. I'm just going to come back down about 2/3 of the way and come back up, and she'll give me a taper. And then the old way is simply, I mean the quill it's not the strongest in the world. I don't have time, if you want to put a resin over it or a varnish, it'll obviously last a bit longer. But I've got a wee touch of super glue there, just checking there's not too much. So what I'm going to do is just, first turn, I'm going to just flatten the wee curl at the end, it's a wee fold, and we just run this up. Oh, it'll split. Sometimes that happens, so I'll just continue like. Sometimes it's better to moisten, so if I give that a second, make sure it dries. And this happens sometimes. Just going to trim it away. Now this one will need a bit of varnish over it, so I'm going to do another one. So just allow that to set. So I've trimmed away the point that came out. The super glue will hold it, so just give it a second. Make sure the super glue is dry. Then I'm just going to rub it with my nail. Any excess, just take it away. You can see it there. Just going to make sure it sticks. If you want to save it, other than that, you just go back. So if you give it a minute or so. So because of that happened, and that does happen when you're tying, just whip finish off. And the old way was just to use varnish. I'm going to use varnish just to show you. Now that should be dry now, and it'll see how it lifts it. You could use a resin, it's up to you. But make sure you put the varnish or the resin onto the bare hook. That then stops any water penetration from the back. If you get water coming underneath the varnish or the resin, it'll turn it white, because it just lifts off the body and you get a white mist like. I always keep some tissue paper, or in this case a toilet roll, just to clean your needle. Don't know if you can see that, but that there, once I let that dry, it'll be fine. But we'll do another one. So I'll just put this on a piece of foam. Oh, I've actually got one ready. I didn't realise I had one sitting, so there's one there. It's a size below that, but we'll still be able to show you. That one's set a wee bit, it's not the best, it's probably why I've left it. Anyway, we'll finish it. So now what I do is, say I've varnished it, let it dry. Now I'm using the Uni 80 thread now. It's a rounder thread, it's got more grip than a flat thread. You'll find it easier to tie off and sort of grip materials, especially if you wax it. Now I'm going to use some CDC, this is just mallard duck CDC. Now I'm going to use, you can get away with 2, but I'm going to go 2 medium-sized feathers and a smaller one. Looking through these here, these are all much the same size. So I'm going to use 3. So I've lined them up, they've got a natural curve. I want them to sit on top of one another with a natural curve, which is like, in this case it's curling up and away from the hook. So I've got the tips all lined up. So I don't need all this, so I draw some of this back because I'm going to form a bubble with it. The bubble is a great method, that it just floats for ages. You can pop the fly, you can pull it, and it'll pop back up. Now if you do, I don't know if you can see that, one is slightly longer than the other. We don't really need the tips, so we can, if you want, you can line it up. So we catch this on the top, make sure that's secure. Just check, so I'm just checking that it's got a nice bubble-like shape. That's fine. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add a wee bit of flash. In this case, you could add some red seal's fur, or you can. This is a nice colour. This is a tactical Microflash dub. It's called Blood Red. Now it's got a lovely colour. You don't need much. Kind of orangey red more than sort of red. When you see in the water, it's actually more red. You only need a wee sort of highlight at the back. So we've got a wee bit of, we get seal's fur. Now you can put the legs on just now if you want to put legs on. Sometimes easier to put it nearer in this point than rather than at the front. I do both, it doesn't matter, but I'll put them on before, it's easier. These are not the best. And a bit kinda, I'm looking for the smaller ones, especially for this size. So these are pre-knotted pheasant tails, I've always got one or two. Just bring them 90 degrees from the stem, you'll see they'll line up. You want to make sure you could put 4 on this, but I'll put 3 either side. All I'm doing is rubbing my fingers through them now just to tighten the knots up, because sometimes they're just a wee touch open, so you can tighten them up. Tear it away once you've lined them up. Separate them into 3. So what I do is I just separate them and use my fingers to help keep them apart. There's one here that doesn't want to come away. You get that. Now, once I've got them apart, separated 3 either side, make sure they're the same length, I just come in and offer on the sides, and I just come around with a couple of turns, 2 or 3. Just check, because there you go, there's the legs there, you can see how they're sitting. That's fine. Sometimes they sit nice, they're sitting not too bad. Wee bit of wax on my thread, tidy that area up, come back to my, get my dyed black seals fur, just roll it. I'm just going to keep my fingers not away from it a wee bit, just to get more of a leggy. I don't want it too tight, I want it more, but a wee bit more, to give an impression of legs as well, and it helps to float the fly. Now, I don't know if you can see there, I've actually went too close to the eye. Just go back, give yourself room. It looked great as well. Just, I'm going to draw back, make sure you've got enough room to tie in the CDC. You want a good head length. Just draw these over. Now I pull it kind of tight, so not tight, just be careful. It'll not pull out, but just in case. Pull it tight so you can see that they're there. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I need some of these fibres to give impression of the wing. I like to use these, I draw them down left and right, and you can pull them up slightly. And then what I do is I use my finger and thumb here to form the bubble. Now you can have it right at the end if you want, but I usually sit maybe halfway to 2/3. So once I get the length I like, I just draw them in, pinch and loop, 3 or 4 turns just to check. I like to tap it, you can see the bubble there. That looks fine. Make sure you get nice tight turns there. Good sharp pair of scissors, come in, make sure this is tidy. Now at this point what I like to do is draw everything back, bring the thread right to the eye. Now the cut end is there. Now I'm going to take the thread turns into that. Put a wee bit of fluff there. And just build the thread up into that. Nice and tight, tight as you can. And then while it's still tight, flat finish. Don't do it. Don't let the thread go. It's amazing how much that loosens a wee bit. Trim away a thread. Always like to come in with my dubbing needle here and just make sure the bubble's open. There we are. That's it's a wee quill-bodied Bibio, if you want to call it, because the Bibio colour's red, a wee bit of red and black. But see the bubble, it's great. So the kind of next stage of these are yellow owls. So that's your normal shuttlecock. So which I would tie, I'll do the same with this fly as well. But if you want to sort of lift the body a wee bit, you tie it so that the waist sits up. Now what that does, this fly will sit, if I can show you, it'll sit like that in the water. Put the midge in the water to this point. Now when the yellow owl's very good for olives as well, coming off. So if you tie it in this style, what that does is it lifts it, it sits this way. Gives more a level, like what a small mayfly hatch is more level than where the midge is more like sort of deeper in the water. So it's slightly different. So does this. This will slightly set it up. You can use the bubble version in that as well. Now I'll quickly tie one. Now obviously you've got to varnish it. So I'm just going to tap around here. And don't be shy with a head on these flies. You want to make sure you tie on your CDC. Wanting a wee head on it makes more chance of that pulling out. Make sure the eye's clean. So that's the wee bubble, wee quill body. I'll do the, everybody knows how to tie a shuttle coat. I'll quickly show you how to do the other one. Just using a light Cahill thread. This is this one. Just start real quick with an extra small wire, but you could use, this is in black, it's a UTC wire, extra small. I find it hard to get. I'm running out in the last 2 or 3 turns. But if just use black thread, or what you can actually do is just colour the thread up and come up and use that as a rib. I've done that many a time. So there's our body. We rib the fly. It's a light Cahill thread. This is just 8/0. A UTC, I think they call it Hopper Yellow, is quite good. It's a wee bit darker, but I like the UTC. So basically, break this off. Get some CDC. You were looking. I like on the shuttlecocks. I try and use up the small feathers. So the wee ones I can't form the bubble, I use them up. I've got 3 here. I've got 3 lined up. Again, there's a natural curve. You can see the natural curve there. Just draw it forward. Make sure the ends are lined up. You're looking round about the length of the hook, or the fly really. Take it up to the eye, or about a head length away. Just catch that there. On the top, come back to where the body ends there. Get a dubbin or some sort. I've got lots of dubbins I like. Hare's ears are usually the best. I like a wee bit of UV in it, so I'm going to grab some. Where are we? I always like a wee bit of something in it. I've got a wee bit of cinnamon here. This one. This is the tactical stuff again. So I'm going to take some of the dubbin. That one, as I say, is the cinnamon. You don't need a lot, just a wee drop. Just blend it within your fingers. Wee highlights like this make a difference sometimes to your fly. Slightly dub this on. Can be as thin or as thick as you like. That's how you like your flies. Just keep my fingers away. Sometimes I actually like a wee drop in the front. This lifts the CDC up a wee bit. Just draw it back. Once you're finished, in this case I'm just going to varnish my thread. And then whip finish. Locks in your whip finish and then trimming it. The CDC now, lots of way to do it. I usually come from the top and down at an angle. So just trim it there. Just puff it up. Now that wee drop there, it's quite the stiff fibre, or the stem of the feather, sorry. It helps to keep the back of the fly up, so it's a wee bit flatter, whereas obviously the true shuttlecock will sit deeper. This one will sit higher. So there you go, there's kind of like three styles that I like to use. There's another, but this is obviously the fly style works really well, and then obviously the bubble and the caddis pupa. The caddis fly itself, which was one of the most popular patterns, but these are all good flies. And you can put legs on these as well. You can put hopper legs on that if you want to give impression of the midge near the top, or the olives. You could put a hackle between there as well, which I've done. It works really well. Even the soft hackle works. But it's up to yourself. Lots of methods, lots of ideas there. So anyway, that's the wee quill-bodied bubble CDC, and then the Shuttle coat with the, just to lift a wee bit higher, as I say. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and again, if always, just if you have any questions, just leave it below, and I will eventually get back to you. There's lots of questions sometimes, but it does help, or even anything you want to see me tie, let me know. So again, thanks for watching, until next time.